Hello everybody, today we have Roar Tyranno. Today we're going to be using 160 Rush as well as 960 Point. I think this Beyblade is very good, it's very strong. It's about 2 grams lighter than the one that's modeled after Phoenix. And it just looks really cool. I love the color. It has so much knockback. It has a bit of a knockdown effect. We'll see if we can look for that in some of these fights. If not, you should see it though. It's very common for it to flip the bay over at the end. They are also top heavy, so they don't do that, but just like, yeah, similar, but yet so different. These jagged edges on the Phoenix just do not exist on Roar Tyranno, and I find that gives it a lot of knockback. It's actually a very strong attacker. I would maybe argue even better on 160 Rush than Phoenix. I don't know about the point build, that's what I'm personally using. It's probably better at that, but you know, more testing is needed. And here we're just doing a mirror match, point on point, 960s. Just check out the blades. You see a large knockback again. Look at that. So it does take some big hits sometime due to it, but it also dishes them out. Obviously we're using a dual launcher, so you know, not that much going on in the way of launcher techniques. Basically just flat launching, a little bit of tilt, do the connections and stuff. Now it's time for the 160 Rush against 160 Rush. These two Beyblades will be the Beyblades we're using throughout the course of this video. We'll keep swapping back and forth, giving each other about 3 or 4 matches against each opponent. Just kind of checking them out. Not really enough to definitively include anything, but Rush Phoenix takes that one. But yeah, I really like this Beyblade. I think it's really fun and pretty good. I would say it's, I don't know if I would say it's better than Dran Buster. Probably just because it's not as glass cannony. I mean, if you're throwing it on 160 Rush, you're not really going for stamina, you're going for big hits. But Roar Tyranno takes that one, and you know, as you'd expect in a mirror match, they do pretty even. Now we're gonna be trying, Soar Phoenix on point against the 160 Rush, and then we'll do the opposite. Big hit from Roar Tyranno there. Just sending it into the pocket. A little bit of launch. Oh, and then Phoenix knocks it right back into the extreme zone. See, these, they both just hit so hard. Point again against Rush. Oh, it's wobbling, and it's gone for. Phoenix takes that one. Score there would have been 3-3. I'm not really going to keep track of scores. Like I said, it's only really 3 matches. This is more just to show you how the Beyblade acts, hits and stuff. Very close to a knockout there. Right now we have Roar Tyranno Point versus Phoenix Rush. No. A little bit of a Christmas colorway versus the old blue and white. And should be the final match. Zipping around. Ooh. But just little contacts. It's going to come down to stamina. Let's see who wins. Roar Tyranno. But we'll have some Whiz Rod matches later on that you'll see against it. It doesn't do, I won't spoil it, but you know, it's flat launching. Not getting much powerful hits you would normally. But at the same time, Wizrod also isn't, hanging out in the corner pocket. So now we have Rush against Point, going around each other. Like kind of stabilized and then lost it again. But Phoenix Moon does take that. Yeah, I honestly think this thing knocks out, dude. Even against Wizrod, if you know what you're doing with it, maybe it's a thing where whoever pulls harder wins, I don't know. But it's really good looks on Wizrod. And those rounded edges against Wizrod's rounded edges, when it's just coming off the extreme line, it throws it. So I think it is very good on the 160 rush. Pretty good counter for Wizrod, not perfect. Dodge as they dodge you. But now we have Kill Shark 360 flat against our Point variant. And it puts it in the hole. 2 points. Point probably better as a counterattacker a bit. Like, you can also just throw into the extreme line and get quick hits, and it, after getting knocked back, can go off the extreme line very wildly. Very strong bit, and it puts Kill Shark right back in that hole. Just a little bit of contact, this thing throws itself around, and it's coming right back for you. Kill Shark gets a good look, but not enough. Not really any good contact from Roar Tyranno, though. It is almost on its side, and there it goes. Pretty good showing of Kill Shark. Maybe 1 versus 4 points. But now we have the rush bit, and it eats up that hit. This is why I really want to see it on Hexa. It just eats hits. I don't know if it'd be good. The attack variants are probably statistically and like point wise better, just because you're earning more points. Attack feels pretty strong. But yeah, Roar Tyranno takes it again. Now we have Unicorn Sting 960 Taper against our 960 Point Roar Tyranno. Unicorn Sting, I really like the Beyblade. I think it moves really nice. It does what it's supposed to as a counterattacker. There's some people running on orbs, some people running on ball. I don't really have much luck with those variants, but I really enjoy Taper. I think it's not bad at all. Comparatively speaking, but UX base, they just knock it around so much. They're so heavy. I think Unicorn by a little bit, but tournament wise, that might just be thrown to a draw. We only got our eyeballs to see for the most part. Roar Tyranno by a mile that time, though. I just think it's been power crept a little bit too much, especially with a lot of the heavy base being attackers. But let's test that out with Rush now and see what it can do. Okay, this is the hit. A couple of big contacts. Oh, and it puts it on the ground. Trying to prove me wrong. Oh, but then Rush puts it right back in the hole. Like I said, dude, this Beyblade has so much knockback. It's ridiculous. Look at that. Look at the eat that hit. It just used it like a pendulum or something. Dude, it's wild. It's a very fun Beyblade to use, though. It hits hard. It can tank hits. can't do really is out stamina for the most part. I tried a little bit the orb variant. I didn't really like it personally. I think orb on Phoenix as well is also a bit power crept. It does well against a lot of the casts, but against your main competitive top tiers, not really. Oh, by the way, I was gonna test with a 460 Scythe Incendio, and you just saw why. So we are going to 360. Also using ball. I think this one's pretty good as well. Very good counterattacker. Kind of gets mollywopped by Dran Buster. I don't have a Tyranno beat, so I haven't personally been able to test that. I would think against attack variants it probably wouldn't do that well, based on how it does against Dran Buster. I think 160 Rush Phoenix also can kind of throw it around. But it's no slouch. I think it does alright against top stuff. And, you know, it's having close battles right now. Roar Tyranno barely gets that one on the spin out. Oh, but then it throws it into the pocket. So it definitely can do well, you know. Personally, I'm just going to be... Oh, another one from Roar Tyranno. So, honestly, the big reason I'm not using it, I do actually really like the Beyblade. I don't know about the matchup spread. It's pretty strong against a lot of the casts, like I said, though. It's just, you gotta throw a ball on Visrod. Maybe you can take Exo Visrod, ball, Scythe. But Rush does take that one again. We should be starting with point and then after 3-4 it's Rush. Some good hits. Oh, hits that side of the wall. And Roar Tyranno spins out and then goes to Scythe Incendio outside. And again, using any of these Beyblades that I may be dogging on right now. Use what you like, what you enjoy. A lot of it comes down to personal preference. I find I do. Another one goes outside. I find I do better with certain Beyblades, certain types. So you probably do too. Oh, big extreme finish from the Roar Tyranno. But yeah, you know, it definitely lands those big hits, gives those crazy knockouts. So I can certainly get them some of the time, but not that time. So now is the matchup everyone was waiting for. We'll start off with point again against Wizard Rod, a 560 ball. Make it a little bit because of the outward weight distribution. It doesn't get burst that often. It definitely does more than a 960, I will say. But overall, not that common. It definitely is very burstable though. And Wizard Rod takes that one. You can see there as I picked it up, the whole bottom just came off, ratchet and bit. So Roar Tyranno was extremely close to winning that one. Burst right in my hands. Some big hits both ways, but it does look like it's going to come down to your stamina, and you can guess who's going to win that. Roar Tyranno holding its crown strong though, as Wizrod is just lightly giving it the taps finally. And we got some wobbling. So obviously I am flat launching, I'm not going for like a slam launch right to the extreme rail. You know, trying to catch the Wizrod, going into the corner. It's just flat. Point is getting mollywopped a little bit. I would expect that with flat launching. Wizrod also very round, Roar Tyranno very round. This is kind of the issue I see with the point variant. is Phoenix, you got those jagged edges, so you can get knocked back even by smoother bays, where, you know, something like this rod, it's barely moving this Roar Tyranno every time it touches it. So you really do have to go with aggressive launches with this variant against these more defensive type bays, because you gotta hit them. Wizrod clean sweep. We've got 160 rush. Let's see how the rush one does. Whoa, what was that movement? That's wild. And Wizrod does take it. Can it get another sweep? We're about to see. A little bit of pendulum action. Luckily it avoids the hit from Wizrod. It is quite a heavy bay and can knock others into the extremes now, despite being such a defensive, you know, stamina type. Does outspin, so, you know, we're not getting thrown into like oversuns that much. Really good hit there, barely doesn't turn extreme. But Wizrod gets thrown around like a pendulum and KOs it. So here I was trying to do some launches, let's see how it goes, but I'm more doing tilt launching, trying to see, you know, how does this thing do, getting a lot of counter rotation in this. It's in that fight, so, you know, not really any shot for later extreme line ride. There I hit the top right after the start, and then hit it again, so lots of stamina lost, and this fight is also probably lost. A little low hit, going for that ratchet, but it doesn't get it. So Wizrod clean sweep with separate launches, go for a little bit of aggressive angle, trying to go for that ratchet a little bit, not too aggressive because we want to stay balancing on our rush. Some good hits there for that ratchet, but Wizrod is still spinning and Roar Tyranno is hot. So again, in testing I've done after this with more, you know, trying out different launch techniques. Also giving a Roar Tyranno point versus Dran Buster 160 rush. So we can see between, you know, these different strong attack types you might want to use. Big hits, oh my, right into the wall. And Dran Buster loses all the stamina to those. And around each other. But yeah, again, in further testing, I think it does pretty well against Wizrod with, you know, quicker extreme line rushes, sometimes delayed ones depending on your opponent's delaying. That was a very close one. I think the Tyranno did get it. But yeah, Dran Buster gets thrown into the hole, and point kind of shows it, you know, why it's so dominant. First thing, I think even with Wizrod, you don't see that many other like defensive bays aside from like point counterattack. A lot of it is, I would say, very attack leaning. So these counterattacking bays are not that point, you know, any rush, any gear, something. So if it cannot get knocked out, it'll do pretty well. So now we have the 160 rush variant of Roar Tyranno going up against Dran Buster. Gets some really good hits and almost knocks Tyranno into the overzone. And the knockout zone. But it does win the spin out. It is definitely more balanced than Dran Buster, but it's not saying much. Oh, big instant hit. And Dran Buster gets 3-pointed. Thrown right into that extreme zone. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Maybe I forgot to show rush. The last fight was rush. For where? Dran Buster does take that one by a little bit. These two bays, they both hit big. Really, I think a lot of attack is just, it feels pretty random sometimes. Definitely heavier bays better, you get good contacts, maybe some good lower contacts. There's definitely some influence. Launching can also play a role, but for the most part, especially once they get down in there, if there weren't too many big hits, can feel a little random sometimes. I'm not saying it is 100%. Drop my Beyblade there. So we do have Cobalt Dragoon 960 gear point against our 960 point variant first, Roar Tyranno. And this is the matchup I was actually really curious to see, just because I've noticed with Cobalt Dragoon, it's like right there, it has a tendency to knock down, and I find Roar Tyranno also has that. So I kind of just wanted to see, what would happen between them. Big hits from Dragoon there, and saps all of Roar Tyranno's stamina, putting it on its side. I think Dragoon is also a very good Beyblade, especially just being left spin in general. Carries it kind of hard. It makes it very useful to be able to go into that other pocket, catch these people with their weird launches, throw them up there. Kind of straightens out there. That was wild looking, and it puts Dragoon on the ground for it. That's wild. And Dragoon gets his chance again, and oh my, it is going around, but doesn't get a lot done there. Really, Roar Tyranno eats it up, dude. It's eating dragons today. And it gets the outspin as well. So now we swap to 160 rush. Again against the Cobalt Dragoon 960 gear point. I kind of like the gear point, to be honest. Gives you really good attack power, really quick zips. You're not self-KOing that much, I feel, but again, it's all down to launch. I really like it. I think it's done pretty well, and I want to say in slow-mo, Dragoon might have lost that, but I could be confusing it with a different round. Lots of near misses, but it does get a hit that puts Roar Tyranno jumping on its toes. And Dragoon definitely outspun that one. Especially this gear point variant, I mean, they feel pretty even against each other. Obviously that doesn't say anything for the rest of their matchups, but I'm pretty stoked about what this Beyblade has done. I'm very happy I picked it up. I plan on using it in my team. Personally, I'm using the point variant. Dragoon wins that one, but I think the Rush one might actually be better. And may actually be better than Rush Phoenix, at least for the Wizron matchup. Obviously doesn't show here, you have to wait for more testing and stuff. We've got a lot of time with these bays, a lot of time to test out all kinds of different launches, different combinations, but yeah, I'm very stoked about it, and that's kind of it.